This news story comes to us from IGN, written by Ryan Dinsdale. Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake 2024 release window seemingly confirmed in PlayStation trailer. Silent Hill 2 Remake isn't the only Konami game to be showcased. PlayStation has listed the Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, officially Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, as a 2024 game. A trailer advertising various PlayStation 5 games coming in 2024 includes lots of entries and established release dates. With established release dates like The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, but also quietly listed the release window for the highly anticipated remake. Publisher Konami is yet to confirm any sort of release date or window itself, though given it was announced by PlayStation in 2023 and is coming to the PS5, it likely knows its stuff. IGN has reached out to Konami for comment. Not stopping there, the PlayStation trailer also listed the Silent Hill 2 Remake as a 2024 release, seemingly dropping two major release windows in the space of 2 minutes. Announced in May 2023 after a series of rumors, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater promises to be a faithful retelling of the original game and will implement the original voice acting that featured David Hayter. The exact voice acting situation is unclear, though, as Konami reportedly isn't recording new dialogue for the game. The publisher has also had to explain why there's a strange symbol in its name and that it's not just coming to PlayStation 5, but also Xbox Series and PC. So yeah, they dropped the release date, release windows at least for both Metal Gear Solid 3 or Metal Gear Solid Delta and Silent Hill 2 Remake.
What you thinking? Where's your head at?
Coming in 2024. And I just don't know how to feel about this, to be completely honest, Adrian, because when they first kind of announced these projects, both of them, they both very much are like, oh, okay, this, like, from the very little trailer we got, it was like, or even just images, it's like, all right, this is like 2025 or beyond. Like, this is going to take a couple years. Like, this is very early development. So on one hand, it just seems kind of wild for them to be saying like, yeah, 2024, we're coming for you, Silent Hill and Metal Gear, it's coming out. I would love that to be true. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think that would be freaking amazing to get both Silent Hill 2 Remake and Metal Gear Solid Delta. That would just blow my mind. Like, last year was an incredible game, like year in gaming. That would immediately like push this up in the ranks for me. Even though like Metal Gear Solid 3 isn't one of my favorites, I think playing it just in a new way would be really fun and exciting. And honestly, Silent Hill 2 I have not played and I've always wanted to, and it's one of those things where like I want to get into this series. I don't really want to play the PlayStation 1 version of the game. I would love to just play a new version of the game, kind of thing. So man, that would be amazing, but I think my final kind of thoughts on it are I don't believe it. I don't think it's coming out this year. I think
good.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where Sony got that date. Maybe that was the original tentative date, like on the back end of, Konami, whatever their shared Google Drive that they have between the two companies, because that's what they use. They use Google Drive, of course.
Yes, of course.
Maybe that was a date they talked about at one point, 2024, but man, I don't know. I mean, we saw like that when they released the footage from the Unreal 5 footage of Metal Gear Solid Delta. There was it November. That was like, I think it even said like pre-alpha or something like that, or alpha. It's like, oh, okay, they're not even in a beta stage. They're not even beta testing. Like, for all we know, that's literally like that's all they have is like that one little slice. There's a lot more to a game than just that. They're still figuring out how the animations are going to look in the game.
Right.
So I don't know.
I would be willing to give you that Silent Hill might come out at the end of the year, just because we've known about that longer. It's been in development longer.
Barely.
I was gonna say it'll barely make the end of this year. It'll be just in time for holidays. That's the only thing that makes sense. There is no shot Metal Gear Delta comes out this year. No way.
Unless Konami's been working on it a lot longer than they let on. But again, the fact that they just released that pre-alpha footage a couple months ago, it's like,
right,
doesn't seem like that. I think that's what it was. I'd have to look up the trailer specifically.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're still in pre-alpha, that means that's what they were willing to show. So they might be in alpha now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
Let me double check
freaking
that.
way this game comes out in 2024. Mid 2025, even late 2025, I could see it. That game is too big. If you're starting from scratch, that game is too big and too expansive. There's too many cutscenes, too many environments, things like that for you, unless they have some gigantic team working on it, which Konami doesn't have money like that anymore. That's why they're doing pachinko machines.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
So yeah, that footage
I'll
was...
give you one. The other one is not happening.
Yeah, that footage was pre-alpha. It does say that in the corner, pre-alpha footage. So it's like...
There you go.
Yeah.
Unless there was pre-alpha footage from like 2 years ago and they've been working on it for 2 years quietly already.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of alluding to when I said like maybe they've been working on it longer than we thought, because they very much could have been like, oh, they actually are almost done with the game, but they're just like drip feeding us information, like old info that they had, like, oh, hey, we put this video together like 2 years ago and we're just now going to drop it or something like that. So that very well could be the case as well, because I mean Unreal 5 we've known about for a couple years now. Like Unreal 5 came out. When was that Matrix demo? That was about 2 years ago.
That was a while ago, yeah.
Like that was like 2020 or 2021. So, yeah, I just don't want to get my hopes up and be heartbroken. That's all.
I was gonna say I wouldn't if I were you. How do you feel about? Side note: how do you feel about them releasing the remakes in chronological order instead of release order now?
Like the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like the Lord of the Rings. Yes.
It's fine. I mean, I hope that
for new players.
Yeah,
I
hope that's what they continue to do. I hope it doesn't turn into, oh, here's Delta, and then here's like another random one. Here's another. Like, I hope they do continue to not only make remakes, because that's the other thing. It's like, depending on how good or bad this sells, with their unrealistic standards, they may or may not even make a next one. So my hope is
Metal
like
Gear, it's gonna move.
Yeah, but Konami likes to Konami, you know. So
Fair.
I really hope they continue to make remakes, and if they do, I'm fine with the chronological order thing. I just hope after this, they either
would be one next.
If they're going according to mainline numbered games, then yes, which I'd be stoked for. I'd be curious though if they would go to Peace Walker next, only because Peace Walker has showed up in like the HD collections and stuff. Like in their mind, it's even though it's not numbered, it is like an important part of the series, enough for them to remaster and put on like consoles and stuff. They didn't do that.
That's true.
They haven't done that with other Metal Gear games like Acid or Portable Ops. Granted, those are known to be kind of like not quite canon, but still. So that's my thought. I wonder if they'll do that, and I wonder if they'll just do like an unlocked high res version of like Metal Gear Solid 5 or something like that. Like not a full remake, but like a remaster. Like
yeah, 5 doesn't need a remake.
Yeah, I could see them doing like this, going to Peace Walker, doing a 5 remaster where it just unlocks a frame rate for consoles, and then 4K, and then going to 1. I hope they go to 1 next. Don't get me wrong, that's my favorite one. I would love to see Metal Gear Solid 1 next, but
Dude,
if they do,
before they get to 4,
if they do stick with the chronological order thing, there has been a lot of importance just put on both Peace Walker and 5. Like they've both showed up in other collections, so it's like, all right, they have some meaning. I would be surprised if they didn't show up, but who knows?
I mean, Peace Walker also makes sense. I forget which documentary I was watching about the Metal Gear series, but apparently Peace Walker started out as like a numbered game.
I think I've heard that as well.
Kojima changed his mind.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to use it for something else. But like it was going to be a Metal Gear, I want to say like 4 or 5 at the time. And it was going to be on PSP as like a numbered Metal Gear game.
Right.
That's how close it got. So it makes sense that if they were to do Peace Walker next, I'd be like, okay, makes sense.
I wonder if...
I know that wouldn't be the best for you because you're not a big Boss fan, but maybe this changes after Delta. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, like, we'll see how Delta is, because I just wasn't a fan of, I mean, his character is different, than Solid Snake. But also like gameplay wise, like 3 was just still stealth focus, which I enjoyed, but it was more open. It was so open. It was like compared to granted Metal Gear Solid 4 was also very open, but I think there's just the familiar characters that I really like. Like I love Snake, I love Otacon, I love like those set of characters. So it's like, all right, that game was awesome. And 4 is mostly a movie, which I love. It's just like sit back and just enjoy the ride. So I hope 3 or Delta does it for me. But I think with Peace Walker 2, I wonder if it ends up being a remake similar to Delta, they kind of rework some of the like how the game even plays. I know with Delta they're trying to stay true to it, but I wonder with Peace Walker, like, all right, this was a handheld game made for the PSP, so it has very much like handheld kind of tropey missions and things like designed to be like to draw out something you play on the go, stuff like that. I wonder if it would be a remake coming to consoles, if they would almost change the gameplay a little bit, or like shorten things up, or just tighten up the ship a little bit so it just fits a little better on console.
I would imagine the easiest way would be to liken it to 5, because it's the blueprint for 5. So
that's true. Yeah,
why not just make it play like 5?
Yeah. I could see that. I guess I hope they would just tighten it up a little bit. I've not played Peace Walker, but everything I've heard is like there's times where it just like gets grindy.
Again. I mean it's meant for you to chip away at on your commute to work on the bus.
Yeah.
So,
which is again, that's something that I kind of gotten frustrated with 5. 5 was also grindy, and that was on the console as well. It's like, what's the deal? Like that drove me nuts. I'm like, I just want more story. Why are you making me go find these stupid guys who are wandering in the wilderness?
Tell you should just watch the YouTube compilations of the movie of it.
That's the thing. I know the story, a lot of the story. I've watched a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. I have most of 5 spoiled for me, but I still would like to just experience it through the gameplay as well, because that's such a big part of the series that I've always loved, is the gameplay of Metal Gear, at least the core, the first 4. And so with 5,
that's why I love 4, dude. They don't hardly give it to you because you already had it in the other 3. We're old and tired now. Yeah. Let me just sit back and tell me this. Yeah. 4 is so good.
But the times you do play, you're still getting it. Like you are still getting some stealth, but you're also just like, hey, just kick back and relax now. Like you've played a lot. Like
you're played a lot of games. You're an old man now. We're good. We're chilling. Okay.
Yeah.
If I gotta go out there, I gotta go out there. Let me take my pain pills, put on my little icy hot patch, and I'll go sneak around for a little bit. But for the most part, story's just happening.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Delta comes out. We'll see if it's any good. We'll see if it changes my mind on Big Boss. But at this point, it's still a Big Boss hater. I'm sorry.
3 is really good.
I would like to get through the Master Collection. I got through 1 and most of 2, and so I'm just about to 3 basically. I'm right at the tail end of 2. So I'm going to be replaying it, at least the original, soon on the Master Collection. So we'll see.
I keep thinking about whipping out the Vita to play them, dude. It's every so often.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got because I forgot the HD collection came out on the Vita there. So yeah, you got the Vita OLED, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Nice,
crispy,
so good. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.